What's going on, guys? Brock with Bassin227 back here again with another video for you today. We're moving right along on our Building the Ultimate Tackle Bag series. If you haven't seen the last video, make sure to check it out. I do a review basically of the bag that we're going to be using, the Ego Cryptek tackle backpack. And today we're going to be focusing on the tools and accessories that I personally feel are going to be important to have with you. So I'm going to state this now. Obviously, like, you know, dressing appropriately for whatever weather conditions you're facing is a pretty important accessory that you need to wear. I'm not including it on this video, but obviously if it's 100 degrees outside, don't go out there in sweatshirt and sweatpants. You know, just make sure you're dressing appropriately for the weather conditions that you're gonna have. So let's jump right in. I'll bring up the first two items that I don't have with me right now. Obviously, it's wintertime where I'm at. I don't have access to these two right now. So one's going to be bug spray. I feel like when you're pond fishing, that's probably one of the top tier ones that you should want to have. Bugs drive me nuts whenever I'm out there fishing, so it's always nice to do a little quick shot of bug spray, especially if the mosquitoes are getting really bad. The next one's going to be sunscreen. And again, that's something that's going to be tailored more towards the, you know, the summertime. But, you know, it's important to take care of your skin and, you know, avoid, you know, any potential damages that could come from that. So those are two items, like I said, that I don't have here that are probably top two for me, that you would need to have. If we're going to stick with the protection from the sun, get you some fishing gloves. These are Fish Monkey. Love these gloves. I just got these actually for Christmas this year, and they're dual purpose for this, right? Obviously the main purpose here, protect yourself from the sun. But as you can see here, you know, it's got some nice padding right through here. So, you know, you don't have to worry about taking a fin to the palm of the hand. I've done that numerous times. You know, it helps give you a little bit better grip on the fish. But mainly for me, sun protection, okay? And actually, hang on just a second. I forgot one on here that we're gonna need. Okay. Nice pair of polarized sunglasses, okay? These ones right here, these are the Costa Broadbills, okay? I got a pretty big head, and these things are perfect. Obviously, protecting yourself from the sun. Having to squint all the time really causes a lot of problems with your eyes. Nice pair of polarized lenses. Do you need to spend the money like for what these Costas are? Not really. To me, I find it very useful, well worth it. These are the glass lenses, and you know, you get the as long as you get a pair. So as long as you're going to get a pair of polarized sunglasses that are going to make sure that they're wrapping around, right? You don't want any additional sunlight getting in, because for one, it's going to help protect your eyes from the sun, but for two, it's going to help you when you're looking into the water, being able to see what's in the water. So a good pair of polarized sunglasses. Again, mine are the Costa Broadbills. I've had these things for, it's actually my second pair, because when we had the house fire, I lost my first pair. But I've had these for over a year. So there's those. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is a good pair of pliers. I really like these. These are Cuda pliers, the titanium series. Okay, so they're good, just standard plier. They got a nice, you know, little snip down here. They also got the little split ring remover up top. I've used these maybe a couple times to change out split rings, but these are good quality pliers. I don't remember what I paid for these, but I'll put a link in the description down below. I love these. The best pliers that I've used. Now, you can go to Walmart and go pick you up a pair of $5 pliers if you want. But I really like these. I think it's about 8 inches. So, you know, and it's not something that's real bulky. It's nice and slender, but big fan of these. If you haven't checked out the Kuda stuff, definitely check them out. Next one's going to be my Boomerang Tool. I'm sure most of you know of this by now. This thing is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of times where you can use, you know, the little cutter portion on your pliers, but I feel like especially if you're cutting braid, it's not going to do it very well. But these snips, and I opted for the long blade one, these snips just slice right through it. So this is probably one of the most important, especially, you know, if fish aren't biting and you got to change, you're able to cut it quick and get things going. It's able to attach to whatever you need with the retractable lanyard, if you will. You know, keep it up close with you. Gotta have it. Next one is going to be a scale. I think a scale is a great tool to have, especially, you know, if, you know, when you get that big fish, you know, you always want to guess kind of what it is. Maybe on it, you may be completely off. You know, whatever. But a scale is going to accurately tell you what that fish weighs. So then that way we know when you're taking pictures and you're talking to people about the fish you caught, you know exactly what it's going to weigh. I like this Rapala scale. It's got the little clamp on here. I like this much better than the ones that just have the little metal hook that you can, you know, slip through the gill. You just clamp this thing right on the fish's lip. And this one is pretty compact, so it's able to fit in a tackle bag and not really take up a whole lot of space. So in sticking with that, another thing that I keep is one of these. This is a like sewing, they use it for sewing and basically, you know, getting your measurements if you're getting close tailored. Little measuring tape. I didn't carry this last year and I wish I did, but going forward, this is a huge thing that I'm going to be keeping with me. So you get the fish's weight, okay? Let's say you're out there and let's say you hook into that fish of a lifetime, right? You throw it on the scale. Let's say you get you 10 pounder being your best fish. If you're like me, when I caught my 10 pounder, I let it go. I was able at the time to grab the measurements. However, but let's say you catch this fish, you let it go because, you know, if a fish is that big, it's that big for a reason. You want it to keep producing big fish, right? If you don't have the measurements, it's going to be really hard to dial in if you want a replica mount done of that fish. So this is going to allow you to, when you catch that fish of a lifetime, you can take your measurements, you can get the length, you can get the girth. So that way you know kind of where you're at. To me, I think this is something that's definitely going to be utilized a lot this year for me. The last thing that I want to talk about, I don't see a lot of people ever talking about this when you think of, you know, tools and accessories for a tackle bag or just doing anything on the water for fishing. And that is going to be a little notepad. You know, not everybody's out there making videos, but it's always important to keep a little notepad. And again, I got this one. It's 3 inches by 5 inches. Okay, it's not very big. I keep that, and actually keep 2 sets of pens just in case one runs out. But there's kind of a dual purpose for this, right? And again, this is brand new for this year. I've got it. It's empty. There's nothing in here. But there's a couple things that can be taken away from this right here. So obviously, you know, as you're catching, you know, those big fish that, you know, are the once in a lifetime type of fish, you know, you can write everything down that you need. That way you're not having to try to plug it in your phone and lose it. You can write down, you know, how long was the fish? What was the girth of the fish? What's the weight of the fish? You can also use it to track patterns for your day of fishing. So you can basically write down on here, you know, all your fish catches and put down your information to what led to that fish bite. You know, was it windy? Was it cloudy? Was it sunny? You know, what's the water clarity? What's the temperature outside? You know, what lure were you using and how were you working it? So then that way you can go back through at the end of your trip that you took, and you can go through and you can review your notes and kind of build a pattern based on what that day of fishing was like. So then that way, you know, when you go back out, you can start to develop a pattern of, you know, catching fish during certain conditions. Again, this is not something I see a lot of people talk about. I think this is something that is definitely going to be a huge component for me. And, you know, really excited to bring this in. A long time ago, I had a big notebook that I would keep, and then I kind of I got away from it. But this is definitely, get it. So that's basically it for me. I keep what I need pretty basic. So again, you know, bug spray, sunscreen, you know, get you your sun gloves, get you a nice good pair of polarized sunglasses, get you a good pair of pliers, get you your line snips, your scale, your measuring tape, and your pen and notepad, and you're going to be set up for your trip on the water, and you won't miss out on getting all the information you need when you catch that fish of a lifetime. I guarantee it. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I appreciate you watching. You know, let's keep this thing rolling. We're really close to the end on getting this thing put together, and we've got one video left before we put that together, and that's going to be walking through soft plastics. So I'm really excited to kind of walk you through my setup on how we're going to do that, and I think you guys will like it. So make sure, if you liked the video, hope you did, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below, and that's it. It's gonna do it for me, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.